Okay, so I'm live. So we're gonna do this right again, man. I'm gonna share some videos with you
Here they
guys.
are. And they do sound like drones.
We're seeing things in the sky that look like planes, and a lot of
And I
people are
want
actually saying these
to
are drones disguised as planes. They start to interpret those things as being drones because they're primed to do that, because they've seen these media stories. They see reporters on TV pointing and saying that's a drone when it's clearly a plane to
talking
anyone who
about
knows anything about
plane,
aviation.
train, and drone,
My name is
baby.
Mick West. I am a writer
We're
and
gonna
a
see how this
TV
video works.
analyst, which means I try to identify things that are in the sky that people can't identify.
All
Whenever
right,
we get a report of something mysterious like a suspected drone, the most important thing to get
I'm gonna pause it. I've been getting kicked off here with Chrome. I'm trying Firefox. I wanna know is it my laptop or not. I'm sharing these drones videos for you guys so you can check it out and let me know what you think.
is the date, the time, the location, and the direction that the person is looking in.
Yo, look, looks like a triangle.
This was a video where a person claimed to see a drone circling around above his house. This is one of the cases where we can actually get the rough position and the time and the location. And you can go into a site like Flight Radar 24 and you can just simply roll back the timeline to that date, time, and location. Press play, and you'll see what planes are in the air. And select a view of the planes, and you can see what path they are taking. So what was happening there is a bunch of planes inbound to one of the local airports, and they were simply waiting to land. So they circle a couple of times and then they carry on the way. And this creates this weird illusion of lots of things in the sky moving around, making these kind of racetrack patterns, kind of like a NASCAR track shaped pattern. But in fact, it's just basically normal air traffic. What we seem to be looking at here is a photo taken at night. Seems to be a slightly long exposure. We see some reflections of lights in the top right corner that are kind of streaked out a bit, which means that the exposure was probably about half a second or a quarter of a second. And we see an object in the middle where we see two streaks of light, one kind of tic-tac shaped and one that's just kind of a straight line next to it. And then we see kind of a beam of light coming from it. And to me, this looks like a helicopter with a searchlight. Police helicopters often fly over neighborhoods when crimes have been committed or they're searching for somebody. If we had perhaps a slightly better photo, we might be able to see the navigation lights. But in this photo, what we're seeing is probably just the light from the searchlight itself. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but that would be my first hypothesis. This video was taken by a professional cameraman, and it shows kind of this wobbly white light. This is something I've seen a lot of times before. I used to deal with a lot of flat earthers, people who believed the Earth was flat, and they would often try to prove that space was fake by taking their very long magnification cameras and focusing in on planets like Venus. And it looks exactly the same as what that cameraman caught. And then this is just what happens when your camera's a bit out of focus and you're looking at something like a star.
Let's see his, he say he don't believe the Earth is flat and that you can go out of space and all that stuff, but he may be one of those commercial news anchor. He trying to probably debunk all these drones. So let's see what we're talking about.
Or a planet that's being viewed through the atmosphere. You get this kind of strange rippling. There's this thing called the low information zone, the LIZ, and the low information zone is basically the distance away at which you can't make out the exact shape or the exact configuration or any details about the object that you're looking at. So naturally, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos that you can't actually identify simply because they're in the low information zone. They're things that are either too blurry or it's too dark or the camera's moving around all over the place or it's out of focus or the object is simply too far away to see what it is. So there's lots and lots of actual UFO videos that can't be solved because there simply isn't enough information.
Approaching a country of Earth.
We haven't seen anything that actually really indicates that it's, say, something like an adversary technology or aliens. Something that's really suspicious would be something that was moving in a very unusual way. If it was simply demonstrably very large, that too would be suspicious. The way to actually demonstrate these things is to get two videos of the same thing from different angles. If you get two videos, you can kind of triangulate them. You can use the different sizes on screen to see how far away the object might be and how big it is. And you can see the intersection of the view lines will tell you, exactly where it is in space, and then you can figure out from that how fast it is moving. So this post by Peggy Dodson is a time-lapse video showing a very busy airport. This airport had 3 active runways. So you're seeing 3 streams of planes coming down, landing in these 3 runways. There's nothing at all unusual about what we're seeing here. The long streaks, just because it's a long exposure, you'll see that the cars that are moving around on the apron are also just long streaks. Airports usually have their planes landing the same way because of prevailing winds. For example, if you're at LAX, you'll notice you pretty much always take off.
Skip a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Go to this right here.
Completely.
This video from News Nation was a reporter standing in a parking lot and reporting live.
At least 5 lights, 6 lights. I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing?
He actually pointed over his shoulder and said, like, there are drones everywhere, and here's one right now. Everything he showed was 100% consistent with it being a plane. They were moving in straight lines. The lighting on planes can vary quite a lot. There's small planes, big planes, some just have a few lights, some have a lot of lights. It can vary by individual planes within airlines. So there's a lot of variation. Problem was, this reporter, he didn't tell the exact time that these videos were taken. If he gave that information out, we would have been able to look up exactly what those planes were. That one, we can't solve 100% because we don't know the time. He knows the time. He could actually tell us what time it was, and then that would solve it.
All the drones going on.
Another thing, some people
Your eyes do play tricks on
the ocean, which is complete nonsense. Planes themselves come in off the ocean because they're coming from Europe and sometimes Africa, especially in the New York area. So planes coming in off the ocean are going to look like drones if you're looking for drones. About a month ago, we were getting reports of drones over military bases, some in the UK and some in the US. And these are legitimate concerns. Drones have been used for spying. A Chinese national was arrested for flying his drone over Vandenberg Air Force Base. There's a case where a person was arrested recently for planning to use explosives attached to a drone to attack a substation. There are very real concerns. Larry Hogan published this video over his house, a very shaky video, and he is basically seeing some lights in the sky. Some of them seem to be moving, some of them seem not to be. Since we know where his house is and what time he said he took the video, we were able to narrow down pretty much exactly what he was looking at. But we knew that in the direction he was looking, there was the constellation Orion, which appears.
Whatever, man. I just want to test this.
Is 4 lights, and it's 4 lights that unfortunately you can't make out what they are, but it's something that's actually just consistent with normal airplane lights. This is obviously something at quite some distance. You can see the lights are kind of distorted, and there's a lot of digital zoom on this particular case.
So what I'm gonna do,
we don't have the
I'm going to pause
this. We don't have the direction they were looking in, and we don't have the precise time.
Video.
From Rich, New York, there.
Because what he's doing, he's debunking everything about drones. And if the people on the government saying these are drones that's flying over Jersey, then he worked for Business Insider, which is 9.81 million subscribers, right? Of course, he's going to debunk the drones, right? So I want to make sure. I want to show you this video, but I honestly want to. And it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. But these drones, I seen one over my house, seen an orb over my house, and it wasn't no plane. It was an orb, man, and it zoomed by in light speed. That's the first time I seen it in my life, and I saw something else after that, but I can't explain what I saw. But it went over my house as well, with like little fire behind it, like how a firecracker go up in the sky, and it got fire coming at the stem. That's how it was, but it wasn't no firecracker, okay, by any damn means. But I seen a big orb behind my house, man. Just zoom by like it was no falling stars, a big orb. And I live in Georgia, man. I live in South Fulton, Georgia. So I seen it with my own eyes. Never seen it in my life. I seen it. And I was looking in the sky for it. I was trying to, and I seen planes going on. I'm trying to make sure I didn't, I wasn't seeing an airplane instead of a drone at times. So when I seen this thing coming over, not the orb, but I was looking at different aircrafts coming over. So that's a drone. But when this regular airplane went over, a white orb went up under it and zoomed by so fast, it was zoop, and I seen it with my own eyes, man. This guy's talking about he's debunking everything, man, but he get paid to do that. Okay. But it's late. I know you guys probably won't see this video till after the afternoon, sometime in the morning, whatever, or at night. So I'm having trouble with my computer when I do StreamYard with Chrome. It just keep knocking me off. But it it's doing so good so far with Firefox. So you guys have a blessed night and talk to you soon. Bye.